It is the day before Mother's Day, and we're celebrating today because tomorrow we're doing a family thing. Look at this little barbarian. Look at that little barbarian. What are you doing? So it's Saturday. I said I wanted flowers to look at and donuts to eat for Mother's Day. So we're heading out to the Arboretum after donuts. And this is the first time I will have had these. In Philadelphia, really love them. And I just love a good donut. You know what I mean? Like once you've had one, there's no going back. So we have here, my husband could probably tell better. I think these are cookies and cream. And that is like cinnamon sugar. And these are, I think, grapefruit. I remember my husband really liking the grapefruit, and he's not like a fruity donut type of guy. And then he just got a whole variety box here. I think that's the Oreo cream donut, and this might be apple fritter. I'll have to ask for more of the names. My Peter is going to be like all about that one. So I'm so excited. So yeah, after we have our donuts, which we won't be eating all of these, we're going to go to the Arboretum. Oh, no, Arthur. Oh, he almost pulled that off. Usually go to a specific Arboretum that's really close to us. But a couple months ago on the way to an appointment, I drove by a farther Arboretum and it just looked so like wild and wonderful, which when you don't have a yard and live in a row home, you just want to be in all of the nature. So we're going to the farther one today, and that's my Mother's Day treat, and I'm really excited. Donuts and nature. It's a winning combination. So we're going to have a picnic while we're there, just some like finger foods and stuff. And I think maybe we'll bring the donuts with us also, the donuts that we haven't finished. But I'm very much looking forward to it. Go get daddy. Go get daddy.
Come on, run faster! Run, run, run! Oh, he needs some encouragement. Come on, Peter, don't stop. Keep running. Run, run, run. You can do it. You're almost there. Run, run, run. Don't give up now. Almost there. Keep running. Run, 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 run. You got it. Don't slow down yet. Run, run, run. Finish line. Nice.
High five.
Mom, this looks really, 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 really big.
So somehow it is May 21st. I don't know how this has happened. This is going to be the most sporadic reading vlog. Not been the most productive of reading months. Not much DNFing. has happened, but just not much progress. And I think what happens is I get overwhelmed at how much I want to read, and then I don't really know where to start, in a day. Like, oh, I had, so much of this one I was going to read, and then I just don't read. And I play Matchington Mansion and listen to the Bonnets at Dawn podcast, which is fine because I love that podcast. And I had so much backlog that I wanted to catch up on. And the next episode is them touring Elizabeth Gaskell's house, which is going to be so exciting. So I think I've listened to, in the past couple of weeks, like 15 episodes of that. Yeah, and last week was just really, I just didn't film much. So I wanted to kind of do a little bit of catch up, and hopefully this reading blog will work. I did read for my Victorian book club, and I meant to film that day, but just didn't think of it. The Heart of Darkness. But I don't really want to spend any filming energy talking about The Heart of Darkness because it was a 2-star read for me. One, it's just not a fun book to read if you know anything that it's about, even though there's supposed to be lots of symbolism in it. It's just very jarring. And it is a Victorian classic, so I'm glad that I read it. I know it's an important book. The language was really rich, but it was also incredibly plot-based. And I have to have, and I've noticed lately this year, I've just been craving very character-driven books. So that's all the energy I'm going to spend talking about The Heart of Darkness. But a book that is very character-driven, and I'm absolutely loving, I meant to talk about it last week. Like I said, I didn't film, is The Return of the Native by Thomas Hardy. This book is astoundingly beautiful. It's as if Thomas Hardy and Emily Bronte had a book baby, and it's amazing. It combines the lyrical writing that's in Far From the Madding Crowd with sort of the paciness of the plot in The Mayor of Casterbridge. And it might be my favorite Hardy. I haven't finished it yet. I'm only halfway through. I am behind on this buddy read, but everybody else is behind. So we're all just savoring it. We don't want to rush it. I could have done the audiobook on this and finished on time, but I'm looking up so much. I'm rereading so many paragraphs. I'm doing a really close reading of this and really enjoying it. So, in a month where maybe I only read 5 books, if I enjoyed this book so much, I will just be so happy. So I'm reading this with Adam from Memento Mori, Natalie from My Reading Days, and Kate from the novel Nomad. And yeah, it's just a fabulous, fabulous book. Eustacia Vi is our main female character. And just, or Eustacia, I think Thomas Hardy would want us to say it that way. So yes, I really, really enjoying this. Then I have 70 pages left of A Girl, the Limberlost that I'm reading with Elena. And I've loved this book the further I've gotten into it. Just the character of Elnora is so winsome. And I love that she's kind of unflappable and she's her own woman. And I really, really, I just love her. So I've grown more fond of her as I've gone through the book. I would prefer the writing to be a bit more flowery, and I think that's what's holding it back from being 5 stars, but it's definitely 4 stars. It's gone up to 4 stars as I've continued through it. So I want to finish the last 70 pages. I think it's going to have a very pleasant ending, and I'm looking forward to that. Then I'm starting Dark Fire. This is the second Matthew Shardlake Tudor era England mystery series. I'm really excited to continue on. It's a wonderful historical mystery series that is just really has lots of character development, and the setting's really interesting and the plot's interesting. It's just got a lot going for it. It's kind of my catch up on my reading. I just have not made nearly as much reading progress as I wanted. And over here is my whole group of spring reads that I was hoping to get to. Basically all of these were books I was wanting to read in the spring, and that has not happened. So sometimes you don't read as much as you were hoping you would. So yeah, I think I will leave it here. So as you can see, I folded a bit of laundry, and while I was doing that, I'm watching Elaine Howland's May reading vlog, and I don't know if you have seen her channel, but I just love the vintage feel to it. She has like sepia tones and vintage music. I just love her videos. So yeah, Elaine Howland.
So yeah, back to after the party. This book really isn't much of a party, is it?
I wanted to show this lamp that we got for free. We were walking back from the park the other night, and it was just on the sidewalk and had a free sign by it along with some other things. But we had wanted a lamp for this dresser. And I kept meaning to go to like the thrift store to try there first, and then, would buy a new one if I couldn't find one, and then just found this one for free. So, yeah, this top like comes off like that. And it's called a hurricane lamp. And this kind of speckled type glass is called hobnail glass. But why I love it so much, or one of the reasons why I love it so much, is it looks like something that would be in Anne Shirley's room. I wanted to show a really lovely, lovely package I received in the mail from Robin at Driftless Reader. It was so lovely of her, and we've gotten to know each other better through the Susanna Kearsley books. We're buddy reading together, and we're going to keep buddy reading all of her books. I'm so excited. And she sent me this package with some lovely lavender hand cream, and I love the scent of lavender. I find it so calming. And then look at this, so pretty. It has hydrangeas and peonies on it, and they are two of my absolute favorite flowers. Oh, so beautiful. With the matching saucer. So I love that. I love the sound of a teacup going into a saucer. And then she got me a copy of Becoming Mrs. Lewis, a nice hardcover. And so this is a good candidate for Nonfiction November. I started this last year and then got overwhelmed with all the nonfiction I was reading. So I think it might be meant to be. And then this beautiful cottage style magazine. It's just all of these beautiful houses and gardens, and just so lovely. So what a lovely package. Thank you again, Robin. I'm really, really excited about all of this. And I'm gonna make some tea before I read and drink it out of this lovely little teacup. I'm on Susanna Kearsley's website, and it's so dangerous for me. She has a Writers I Love section, and most of these authors I had never heard of. And so instantly I'm wanting to like check if my library has them, even though I have so many books already that I need to finish. Neville Shute, I do love. Yeah. I don't know if I'll love Kurt Vonnegut. Agatha Christie, I have come to love. And Mary Stewart. So definitely other people I'll want to check out. I finished A Girl of the Limberlost. Yay! And it was 4 stars. It was really nice to reread this. I love this copy too, and how it has the butterfly like embedded in it on the back. I love that. Yeah, so I was just looking at my currently reading, and I think it's 18 books, which is down from like 24. So I just need to buckle up and finish them. I keep just getting stuck in my buddy reads, but I'm on a roll this week, so we'll see how things go. So I have read the next book in The Return of the Native, so book 4, and I think I liked it even more, but I wanted to show what makes such fabulous Victorian literature reading music as sea-inspired classical music. That playlist on Spotify is amazing. So it's now Wednesday afternoon, and yeah, I was just talking about how much I'm loving this, and I woke up for no reason at 3 a.m. last night, and I found that with insomnia, it has happened a lot less, but lately. But when it does happen, if I just don't even look at my phone and fret about what time it is, like I only realized it was 3 later on. Don't fret about what time it is. Just go down and read. Don't even look at a screen. I'm able to get back to sleep a lot easier. Before, I would try to listen to audiobooks, but I think even just like getting it up and running on my phone could kind of wake me up. So yeah, it's really annoying to go downstairs. It seems like such a long journey at the time, but then I went downstairs, I read 3 chapters of this, and then I went up and I was able to go back to sleep. Whereas before, if I would do an audiobook, it would take, the whole thing would be like 3 hours before I was able to go back to sleep. And this was just 1 hour. And so then I didn't wake up feeling like wrecked. Like I felt a little bit disoriented, but not super bothered by it. Oh, that's a loud commercial. Okay, so afternoon reading plans. I'm really just in a good groove this week. I will just love if I can end May on a great note, having finished a bunch of books. So I'm going to read the next 4 chapters in Darkfire. Even though I'm technically a day behind, I could choose to read 8 chapters, but I don't think I feel like dedicating the entire afternoon, and I think maybe 8 chapters would be the entire time that the boys are resting. I only have 100 pages left of Pages & Co., and this is one of my currently reading books. So unfortunately, I thought this was going to be like a 5-star read, and it's just a solid 3 stars. Like, I'm definitely enjoying it, but I was expecting to love it as much as Wondersmith, because during as much as Nevermore, because during Middle Grade March, a bunch of people were reading both and loving both. Yeah, so there's 100 pages left of it, and I'll zoom right through that. It's a middle grade book, but it's very fun. It just maybe wasn't quite what I was expecting. I just don't feel that connected to the characters. Lastly, the May book for Betsy Tacy 2019 is the Betsy Was a Junior, and I just can't stop smiling when I think about these books. So I'm supposed to put up a review video for this on Saturday, so ideally I could read a third of it Wednesday, a third of it Thursday, a third of it Friday, and film and upload on Saturday, or even film on Friday after finishing it. I think that's what I want to do. I go through these super quickly. I mean, I don't like that I've left it until a week before the video is supposed to go up, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna divide my time between those 3 books and hopefully just make some good progress and keep really enjoying whatever it is that I'm reading. I have had the coziest afternoon. I started, I forgot the name of the book. Is it Darkfire? Darkfire, the Matthew Shardlake mystery. But I was just really wanting to get to Betsy Tacy. And one of my issues I've had this year is that when I really want to read a book that's not a buddy read book, I feel guilty about reading that first. And so then I'll just sit there and not read. When I should just read what I want to and do the buddy read book later, especially since it's like a specific number of chapters. But I also have my Little House on the Prairie book that I'm cozied up in. And so I read the first 8 chapters of Betsy Was a Junior. These books just fly by. And even though I remembered most of what happened. It was just so fun to revisit it, and I adore the Ray family. But a thing I didn't notice in here, because I didn't know about this book, was it talks about Betsy reading aloud The Shuttle, which is a book that last year the Bonnets at Dawn podcast did a read-along of The Shuttle. It's by Frances Hodgson Burnett, who wrote The Secret Garden, but she also wrote adult fiction. So I really want to read The Shuttle, and if Betsy Ray reads The Shuttle, then certainly something I need to read. So I don't know if I can fit it in this summer. I'm not letting myself listen to those episodes of the podcast until I have read it. So we shall see. But I think I'm going to listen to listen to an hour of, I'm going to say Martin Chuzzlewit, Barnaby Rudge, get another hour done with that. And then that will be my afternoon reading. What do you want? What do you want?
This is a Mech Warrior, and my dad. It's a video game, I think.
Yeah, the Mac Warrior. Yeah. Are you waving?
And my dad used to play it when he was a kid, like me.
Uh-huh.
I think he was 4, like I am right now.
Yeah.
And they came from humans, from face.
And so what have you made on it? What's special about it?
I don't know.
Can we see the front of it again? Yeah. And you made this all on your own, right?
Yep.
Very nice, Peter. So, it has become a weekly tradition that one weeknight in the week, my husband and Peter will watch Dragon Ball Z together. And Peter loves it. So, I'm sneaking in a minute to read. I actually did not read that much today. So, I'm going to catch up on my chapters of Darkfire. I read a bit of it this afternoon. I was behind on yesterday's chapters too. And then behind because I didn't start on the day of. So now I'm only going to be one day behind if I read 2 more chapters. So that's what I'm going to do with my quiet time. So it's now a little after 9 p.m. Everyone is in bed. My husband came up to bed at 9 because I was reading up there, and he's like, "Don't you want to just go to sleep?" But he gets up very early. So it's been an unusual day. Arthur woke up at like 5:45. I was crying a lot, and I thought, oh, you know what? He's gonna go back to sleep. He'll settle, because he does that. Certain mornings where he'll wake up between 5:30 and 6 and be sad because he doesn't want to be awake that early, and then he'll go back to sleep, and usually around like 6:45 I think is when he wakes up. So anyhow, he did not settle, and so I got up with him, and then he had a dirty diaper. Nothing like making a dirty diaper at 6 a.m., so and then I put that clip in of him earlier, just like he didn't know what he wanted a lot of the day. And then I finally realized, oh my goodness, you're due for more teeth, aren't you? And then I looked, and sure enough, he has his 4 incisors all coming in at once. So not the best reading day, but super productive around the house, which was really nice. But then I think I overdid it a little bit because then I like seriously crashed by the evening. But we had a yummy dinner. We had like a sheet pan roast with carrots and sweet potatoes and Italian sausage, and it was really yummy. And I did the third load of laundry is in the dryer now, so I don't think I'll fold it tonight. I just want to make sure it's dry so it's not sitting there all damp in the dryer. But I'll fold the final one tomorrow and then put some of the stuff away, although all the downstairs stuff I put away. I did catch up on those Darkfire chapters. I'm really enjoying that. I need to touch base with my Boxer group. And then I am on the edge of my seat with The Return of the Native. So I'm on page 324 and there's 400 pages. I just want to finish book 5 tonight. It's just such a good reminder. I had several, like 3 Victorian books in a row in January that I just didn't enjoy that much. No Name by Wilkie Collins. What is it called? The Big Bow Mystery. And then East Lynne, which I know a lot of people who liked East Lynne. And so then, of course, I did this thing where I'm like, do I even like Victorian literature? I like Victorian literature. I just have to know that not every Victorian book is going to be a hit with me and not stress about it, because I love this so much and I want to know what's going to happen. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to get back to The Return of the Native. I just finished book 5 and The Return of the Native. I think this is going to put me in a bit of a book slump. I'm just going to need to process this. I have about 40 pages left, but the big climax just happened and I did not kind of predict exactly what was going to happen. I think this is like the Hardy that I felt the most intensely so far. This is my 6th Hardy. It's a lot. It is Saturday morning and I finished the second third of Betsy Tacy. I have 100 pages left, so I am still going with that. I will be able to finish the last 100 pages and put up the Betsy Was a Junior video today. So future you will know whether I did or not. Did just walk into the library, return my overdue books, and check out my books on hold. I couldn't believe I did it. The 3 holds that I picked up are all ones from the Modern Mrs. Darcy summer reading list. I think I asked for I put around 10 on hold, and now just different. I've been like consuming so much booktube this week, so pretty much any book that sounds like a fun summer read, I've just been putting on hold. It's free. What are we going to do? And I have so many books I need to get to, but these are all frivolous reads that would be rather quick if I enjoyed them. The first is The Unlikely Adventures of the Shergill Sisters. And so this is about 3 sisters and their mother dies and wants them to go to, let me get this correct, the Golden Temple in Amritsar to carry out her final rites. And so I think they kind of grow closer as sisters through that. And it just seems like something that would be fun for summer, hence it being on the Modern Mrs. Darcy's summer reading guide. Then a very silly and frivolous one that seems very fun for summer is The Accidental Beauty Queen. And this is about 2 sisters who are very different, twin sisters, and they swap places for a beauty pageant. So yes, there's that one. And then this one I'm really excited about. This I saw on Instagram, Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors by Sonali Dev. It's an Indian American retelling of Pride and Prejudice. I really like the notion of Pride and Prejudice being told in other cultures. And I put one other, I think it's a Pakistani retelling of Pride and Prejudice. So I love the notion, these colors, it just screams summer read. Yeah, so we'll see if I like them. It was tense in that grocery store. I'm very glad to be out. I think everybody just wants to get on with their Saturday. Doris, if you're watching this, thinking of you. Jalapeno chips.
I've been watching Doris's vlogs with potato chips, and then I saw these jalapeno chips, and I haven't had them in so long. They're so good.
We make
Whipped cream.
whipped cream with what fruit?
Strawberries.
Strawberries. And are you gonna eat any, do you think?
Yup. Ooh.
He reminds me of Maddie.
It is currently 6:50 a.m. on Monday, the 27th of May. And I'm going to lay here rather, and finish book 6 of The Return of the Native.
Dorothy can usually go really fast.
Yeah,
Why is she shooting the target?
for fun. Hi, so it's Monday afternoon, and I did want to talk about 2 books that I've finished. And the first is Betsy Was a Junior. I finished this Saturday afternoon and then filmed my video Saturday night, and it went up Saturday night. So I was successful, and I really, really enjoyed this. And even despite, there's a plot point in here where Betsy forms a sorority with friends, and it's just really cliquey and just kind of off-putting to people that aren't in it. I remembered not liking that, and it really still annoyed me in this one. But even despite that, I still really enjoyed this book. I loved that we got to see more of Joe Willard in this, and just each instance that I get to know more about him, the more I like him. He's just such a level above the other guys. So yeah, it was really fun. And then I was able to listen to the discussion that Kelly and Katie had in our Boxer group, and they had some points that I hadn't thought of. And yeah, it's just really nice to think about these books so much and reread them. So the next book is Betsy and Joe. So I think you can all guess there will be more of Joe Willard in that one. Now just thinking about it, I just want to pick it up and read it right away. But I will wait until June, since it is the Betsy Tacy 2019 June read. But I'm very excited for that one. I remember really, really liking it. It's kind of like when everything comes together. And then I finished The Return of the Native. So this morning, I was finishing it, and it was such a lovely ending. I kind of thought, well, we had such a big climax, what's going to happen? But it was really perfect. This is going to be a favorite book of the year. It's my favorite Hardy now. I loved it so much. And sometimes there are those really special buddy reads that I would not have gotten nearly as much out of this book had I not done the buddy read with 3 really lovely, thoughtful booktubers. And it was just such a meaningful reading experience to me, and I'm so grateful for it. And this was just such a fabulous, fabulous read. So definitely a highlight of my reading year thus far. I will definitely be rereading this at some point.
multiple times, and it's a new favorite Victorian novel. So that's always exciting when that happens, especially because I expect that to happen during Victober, but I don't always know if it's going to happen during the year. And this was not in my Victober 5-star TBR project. I don't know how much headway I'm going to make with that. I am still working on it, but there's just so many books I put on the list. And I think this Victober, when I do that again, because I do like having it as a project, I'm just going to put 10 on the list, because one a month, that's pretty realistic. But then what happens, and what happened this year and the other year when I did it, is that I get stuck in one that I'm not enjoying as much, and then I just take months and months to like either DNF it or finish it. And so I've gotten stuck in a couple, and I have way too many books am I currently reading. We're going to be reading The Firebird. I read the first 4 chapters of this, and I'm here for it. I just love Susanna Kearsley, and I love how easily the reading comes. So I don't have other buddy reads that I'm behind on, and I don't have other library books that I'm hurrying to finish, so I can finally really buckle down with my currently reading. So I think just it's going to roll into June. I'm going to keep doing that because I really do want to get it down. And there's such a variety that I can choose from. So I think the next one is going to be Someone at a Distance by Dorothy Whipple. People who know, readers who know the kind of reading that I like to do, all say that I would really like Dorothy Whipple. I really enjoyed the first 75 pages I read of this and want to continue with it. It was on my spring TBR, which this was the first book I tried in my spring TBR, so you can see how far I've gotten. But I think a lot of those reads I'll still feel excited about in summer. So hopefully between the Modern Mrs. Darcy summer reading books that I put on hold and then my spring TBR, I'll have some really good reads that I'm totally in the mood for. That is what I'll be working on, along with the audiobook of Barnaby Rudge. So I think I'm going to sit down for about an hour or so and listen to Barnaby Rudge and play Matchington Mansion, of course, because that's my life now. Yeah.
The first to make you acquainted with your distinguished position, after all. Do you see the king's arms atop? He smilingly asked, as he took a large paper from his pocket, unfolded it, and held it out for Hugh's inspection.
I follow the old adage, seek whom the crime benefits. Well, that's all very well, said Mr. Clancy, but I take it that's a little difficult in a case like this. There's a daughter who comes into money, so I've heard, but a lot of people on board might benefit for all we know.
I am done with my appointment, and I'm going to stop by Barnes & Noble. And this Barnes & Noble, I wasn't sure if it was open when I drove up, because the sign is like a little sad looking, but it is open. So I just wanted to see if they had any pretty editions of Wuthering Heights, and they have this really ghastly illustrated Jane Eyre. Ooh, look at these. How's this supposed to be appealing?
And then come back from the holidays, because like I said, I've read her back every year. She should have a second book coming out.
I am absolutely desperate to read this, The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. A Bookish Baker on Instagram has really excellent taste, and this just seems like a modern romance that she really liked. And Lucy from Lucy the Reader really liked it, and just makes it sound really wonderful, where this couple, this guy and this girl, share a flat, and one like works nights, so is gone, and the other one works during the day. But it's supposed to be a romance, and it's just supposed to be told in a really clever way. So I'm going to walk around with this and think about it. I wanted the flat share in the worst way, but it was $26. And I really, it has to take a lot for me to buy a book I've never read for $26. It has to take a lot. And I already have so many I want. And then I checked before, the library didn't even have it, but now the library has it. I'm 15th in line. They already have 6 copies and they're acquiring 5 more. So I just think I should just wait. And they had a 2 for $10 deal. And if I hadn't really liked these picture books, I don't know if I would have done it. But I had heard really good things about Miss Rumphius and like a mom's Facebook group I'm a part of. And the pictures are just so pretty, and it looks like a really great story. So I just thought, you know what, me and the boys will really enjoy it. I mean, not Arthur yet, really, but Peter and I for now will enjoy it, and Arthur eventually. And then I really like this. I don't know how many of you have seen this, Circus Ship by Chris Van Dusen. I had never heard of it. I don't know how, because it just looks amazing. All of these animals on a circus ship, and then they get to a town and escape. And it, like, kind of the resolution of it. And yeah, sorry, it's hard to hold up well while I'm cramped here. So I think I made the better decision, and the flat share will be here eventually. I have all those other summary books that I wanted to try out, and I should just not spend $26 on a book I haven't read. Hi everyone, and it's Kate here, wrapping up over 50 books for you. Peter is going to look at the books that I got today. So that's Miss Rumphius.
Miss Rumphius?
Mm-hmm. What do you have in your hair, Arthur? Yeah, Peter's opening the books. And that's the circus train, or wait, circus ship, right? Is it circus ship? Yeah, the circus ship. You excited to look at both of them?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just after 8, and the husband had to work late. It's like crunch time in a research week for him. So I did solo bedtime, which was one of my least favorite things. Props to you, single parents out there, or parents whose spouse is working nights, and it's really special. But I did it. They're in bed. The house is such a mess. I think I'm just gonna at least try to get the kitchen cleaned up. And I was thinking about, what did I want to have on while I was cleaning the kitchen? An audiobook, and I think I'm going to do some Mary Tyler Moore. So I have that on. I did manage to get through several chapters of The Firebird by Susanna Kearsley. My goal is to get through chapter 10 tonight. This one is really fun because we have some characters from The Shadowy Horses and characters from The Winter Sea. So that's really neat to revisit those characters. And then on her website, I'm pretty sure it says that she's doing more in this like Slain series. I think it's called the Slain's Trilogy now. So that is cool. Yeah, I would like to read a couple more chapters of Someone at a Distance. I am loving it. The reading is coming so easily in that. And just as I'm reading it, I'm like, I would not rather be reading anything else right now. This is like, I'm so happy to be reading this. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Peter really liked both the books, particularly The Circus Ship. We read that 2 times tonight, so it was good. I lied. I think I'm gonna watch book 2 because there were like 7 or 8 new videos that I really want to see. It is Thursday morning, and today was the first day all week, or rather last night was the first night all week that I didn't do yoga, and I can feel it today. So my exercise program that the cardiologist gave me, like the POTS exercise program, was not working for me. I did it for 2 months, and I just had so many days where I felt like flu tired. And I think it works for some people, but you just have to figure out if it works for you. So I stopped doing that, and I've had a lot more medium days just doing yoga. But I actually have an appointment tonight with a physical therapist, and hopefully they're going to find a program that will help me to get better. I don't know, like if I should be focused so much on getting better or focus more on just having a lot more good days. I'm not sure. So I'm going to meet with a physical therapist. They say they know about POTS. Hopefully they do. Well, Arthur woke up really early and then just kind of
cried miserably the whole morning. He was so tired. So he's doing a morning nap, and it's really nice that on today, a day I felt tired, a friend had offered to take Peter to the park. So the boys are at the park. There is a new video out from Katie at Books and Things on something like genres and book labels, and I just love Katie's discussions, the style that she has. She does like such engaging videos. So I think I'm going to watch that and then actually try to finish Someone at a Distance. So yesterday I didn't read really any of Dark Fire, the C.J. Sansom mystery. I'm just finding myself drawn more to mood reading, so kind of gave myself the day off that. And I'm going to try to finish this morning. This book, Someone at a Distance by Dorothy Whipple, is basically about an affair. And so I knew it was going to be uncomfortable. Like, I really don't like books like that if it's portrayed sympathetically. And this is not portrayed sympathetically, you know, someone abandoning their family. But the part, I was getting like a stomach ache. I was so anxious because it's like before it actually happens, that kind of build up to it. And, you know, now the build up is done and I feel a lot less tense while I'm reading it. And it's by no means a fun story, but it's written in such a way, and it's just shows like these characters feel so real to me, and the things that they say like seem totally like things people would say if this happened to them, like the daughter and the wife, and then the other woman and the philandering husband. They feel so real. This is written so well. So I actually just went ahead and bought High Wages on Kindle. There should be a system that someone has out there with a new book where you can pay like for a new hard copy of a book. You could pay like $2 or $3 extra and get a code that would also get you the ebook of that. Sometimes they do that with DVDs. I remember, now people aren't buying DVDs as much, but I remember this was like 10 years ago, even maybe. I bought a DVD and I had a digital download code that you could just have it, a digital copy on like your laptop or, you know, iPad. And I thought that was so cool. And I wish they did that with books, you know, pay a few dollars extra to get a digital code for an ebook. Someone should do that.
Think so?
Wait, this one looks like it's
It is Sunday morning now, and it is, a blah day. So Dave and Peter went to church, and I'm staying home with Arthur, and he needed a morning nap. So I gave him one. He just was miserable and was rubbing his eyes, and like, you know what? You're getting a morning nap. I did finish Someone at a Distance, and I ended up giving it 5 stars. I think it's an example of one of those books that I'm really, really glad I pushed through, because it's about an uncomfortable topic. It's about an affair, but the way it was dealt with and the way it was like, even though it was a really awful thing that was happening, she gave the people, the other members of the family that obviously weren't the participants, she gave them dignity. And I feel like if it was something that was written now, it would just be so cynical and like humanity is trash. That's like the vibe that I get from modern literary fiction. So I ended up really liking it, and the characters just felt so real and flesh and blood to me. And there was something about it that I just loved. I also finished Pages & Co. by Anna James. And there's something that's a spoiler, so I can't say it, but there was something that was an aspect of the story that I just couldn't get on board with. And it really like knocked down my enjoyment. Like it I guess if it didn't have that, it could have ended up being 4 stars, but I just couldn't get around it. And it's a spoiler, so I can't say it for people who don't want to know. But I was just not a fan. So today is June 2nd, so I think this will be my last clip for the second part of my May reading blog. One thing I did want to like talk with Peter about, but then, you know, where does the time go? I went with Peter, just me and him. It was really fun. We went to go see Aladdin, and my expectations were actually a little bit low because I was expecting to be disappointed, but I really liked it. Naomi Scott and Mina Assoud, who played Aladdin Jasmine, just won me over so well that I thought they were so perfect for the roles, and I'm loving it in these like live action Disney remakes, how they expand on the characters and the plot. The only thing that I was really disappointed in was the actor who played Jafar. I thought fell flat. Like, he was just so dull. I don't know. I just thought like Jafar is one of those bad guys that has like flair and you love to hate him, and he was just boring. I don't know how else to put it. And it was really fun to see all of the like colorful clothing, and the music is great. I loved their version of A Whole New World. I enjoyed Will Smith as the genie, but I'm like very loyal to the Robin Williams interpretation. But I also liked that he didn't try to replace Robin Williams, like he did his own thing. Because you're never gonna top that. So yeah, it was so much fun to see in theaters, and it was the first time I had actually gone to the movie theater with Peter. So that was a real highlight. That was yesterday morning. Today is my last day that I have Barnaby Rudge by Charles Dickens checked out. And I started out today, I had like 5 hours left of it, and I just want to get it done because I'm starting The Last Chronicles of Barset with Doris and Petra, and I don't want to be reading two gargantuan Victorian novels at the same time, especially because I might end up doing the audiobook of Last Chronicles. So I'm just sitting, and this whole morning while I've been home with Arthur, I've been listening to the audiobook. And I think I'm going to be able to finish it. I'm down to almost 3 hours now, and I'm listening to it a little bit sped up. And I think it's going to be probably a 2-star. With Dickens, I either like his books or I don't like them. And there's some, it's crazy because some, like, I love so much and feel in the mood to reread a lot of the time. And then others like Little Dorrit, Nicholas Nickleby, just didn't like them as much. I love all the film adaptations, but just the books aren't always a hit with me, and so I could kind of tell from the beginning, okay, this is going to be one I don't like. But I want to say that I've read them all, so I'm doing it, and I have about 3 hours left. So thanks for watching the May Reading Blog. As far as I know, I hopefully will continue to vlog in June because it was so fun to put up the first reading blog and look at all the lovely comments, and it's just a nice way to be uploading, but it's the editing is a lot of work, but the filming is not a lot of work. So yes, hopefully I will finish Barnaby Rudge.